For hundreds of years, people have reported seeing large featherless flying creatures that resemble pterosaurs, gigantic flying reptiles thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Scientists dispute their existence in the modern world, but the evidence says otherwise. Whether you believe they exist or not, people still continue to see these creatures well into the present day. Overall, there are more than 350 documented reports in almost every continent of the world. And researchers like Jonathan Wickham, Jacob Guerra, and myself have been taking these reports into consideration with an open mind to figure out just what might be lurking in the skies above us. Today I'm going to share with you a pterosaur sighting that was posted in the comments section of a YouTube video. The encounter hasn't been conclusively verified as true or false, but it shares many details with other credible pterosaur sightings. I will now quote the words of the eyewitness. This amazing story deserves to be told. In the summer of 2017, early July to be more precise, I was in my boat on the very north end of Big Cedar Lake in West Bend, Wisconsin. I was approximately 50 yards away from a wooded area adjacent to a small creek that leads back to a tiny lake, Gilbert's Lake. I was shocked to see what appeared to be a huge creature with a large beak and a cone-shaped appendage behind its head in a tree on the left side of the creek. While sitting on a branch, it resembled a sleeping bat with its wings tucked tight to its body but upright. I was absolutely baffled of what it could be. We have many sandhill cranes and blue heron in our neck of the woods, but this creature was absolutely massive. As I turned the boat around and slowly approached the entrance of the creek, the creature spread its enormous wings, which I estimated to span 15 to 20 feet. It was a bluish-gray, prehistoric-looking bird. My first thought was, it's a pterodactyl. The wings were thin and bony, much like the shape of a bat's, and had long trailing legs like a flamingo and had a longer tail. It flew very slowly and gracefully, but disappeared behind some taller trees within a few seconds. This area is very wet and swampy, has no hiking trails, and little human activity. 1. I know what I saw. 2. No, I'm not nuts. 3. I have never used any mind-altering drugs. 4. I do occasionally partake in a good craft beer, but was completely sober at the time. I know many people are going to say that this creature was just a large bird mistaken for a pterosaur, but I disagree. I also live in Wisconsin, and whenever I drive outside of the city, I almost always see sandhill cranes, great blue herons, and turkey vultures. As a local, I would never mistake them for pterosaurs because I am used to seeing them, and I don't think the eyewitness would either. He specifically noted that the size of the creature was greater than any large bird he had seen. Also, the detailed description of the bat-like wings and head crest leads me to believe that what this man saw was no bird. Another key piece of evidence is the fact that about 3 miles south of where the creature was seen is a road called Sleeping Dragon Road. This name resembles the characteristics of the modern-day sighting quite a bit, and there have been people who have had 2 different sightings of a pterosaur in the same general area, sometimes years apart. I think that these creatures could have a key migration stopping points, like some birds do. Unfortunately, I could not find any information on the origin of the name of Sleeping Dragon Road, but I can only assume that long ago someone saw a pterosaur sitting in a tree near the road and thought that it looked like a sleeping dragon. Not only that, but there was another sighting of a strange flying creature in Wisconsin just 3 months earlier. The encounter took place about 40 miles south of the Big Cedar Lake sighting between Palmyra, Eagle, and Mukwonago. The eyewitness didn't directly say that what they saw was a pterosaur, but the details of the creature bear a striking similarity to other pterosaur sightings. Here's what the eyewitness said in his own words. In mid-April of last year, 2017, I was sitting inside my car, which was parked facing north in the driveway at my home located between Eagle, Palmyra, and Mukwonago, Wisconsin. At approximately 10:45 p.m., I looked up briefly from the dash of my vehicle, a minivan, and momentarily noticed someone who was very tall and very dark just standing in the rain about 5 to 10 feet at most in front of the vehicle. I was looking at a creature, for lack of a better term, that essentially looked like a 7-foot bat reptile of some sort. It was also quite large, possessing extraordinarily swarthy coloration, though slightly reflective like skin or scales of some kind. Not feather nor fur covered, from what I could tell. It was at least as wide as a very large man, but did not seem stocky, as it were. And as I stared at it uncomfortably, I realized that it actually had huge wings, but they were wrapped around its body exactly as a bat wraps its wings around its body while sleeping upside down, except this thing was standing right side up, looking right at me. The bottom of its face was completely covered by its fleshy-looking wings wrapped around its body. As soon as I had given my friend on the phone a description of what I was seeing, I noticed that it seemed to very quickly move, although I did not see it unwrap its wings or walk, per se, but there was simply what I will describe as a brief blur in the headlights and it was gone. The entire time of observation before it vanished was realistically only about 12 seconds, but considering the uneasy wayward way that thing was leering at me, even that was too long. Thanks for watching this video. The links to both sightings will be in the description. Also, if you have seen a pterosaur yourself, or know someone who has, you can share your encounter on my website, which you can also find in the description box below. Stay tuned for more cryptozoology videos coming soon on this channel, and always remember that the first step to discovery is observation.